Welcome back everyone to our Distant Worlds Universe Let's Play. Up to episode 7 now. And you can see all our beautiful ships over here. So our home fleet's sitting here. Just going to tell them to move to our planet so they sort of followed around, sort of stayed localized. We've got our first fleet here as well. Do the same thing, make sure they're all sort of in the one spot. And we're looking good. Looking dandy. So, fire up the game now. And so these little independent freighters moving around, and our own little freighters, little circles. So they're moving around, the private sector is out making money. You actually see as well, just sort of out of an interesting, cash on hand, they've actually got 5.6 thousand or 5,617k of credits. So 5.6 billion in credits, which is good for them. So they've got a huge amount of cash on hand and they're making a lot of money, 681k. In revenue, so they're doing pretty well, and 309k in cash flow. So see, colony taxes here, so we've actually got our colony where we make our money, colony tax revenue 211k, and there, so that's an income for us, and an expense for them or for the private sector is colony taxes. So there's that 211k there, and they've also got ship and base maintenance and fuel costs. So we've got fuel costs as well, and all these base and ship maintenance as well. So that's okay. We've got our resort income. So just while the game is running, we've had our second defense base complete on our planet and our systems. That's good. They're all protected. When I come over here, I think this is our resort base. Nope, it's not. So our resort base is this one, is it? Yes, it is. So you actually see we've got 1.2 billion K or 1.2 billion Gizurean tourists on our base, which is really good. So we're getting some good resort income there each year, which is definitely nothing to sneeze at, and so we're doing pretty well. Offer of protections, as we mentioned last episode, we're actually going to start declining all of these, and unless a particular pirate faction or group becomes a problem, we're going to actually start trying to stand on our own 2 feet and sort of fight them off if we need to. So we've had our planetary defense unit tech be finished, so we can start creating our planetary defense units. I'm actually going to research the next level of railguns, which would be good. And then we're going to go into our point defense weapons. So because we'll have carriers and things unlocked soon, if we go into a fight with an empire or go into a war with an empire soon, some of them may have fighters. So we've got the Iron Confederation here. We don't have any arrangement with them, so you can see their ships coming in. So this is what I talked about. It's quite good with having long-range scanners. So if you're not really sure how the range of your scanners, you come down here on the right-hand side, and this little button here, show long-range scanners. Just click on that. You can actually see this sort of highlighted area here. This is where our long-range scanners are. So we can see any ships at all, so friend or foe, that are in this area or come into within this radar range, we can actually see. So that's a really good thing there. So we can actually see them coming into there. So for the moment, they're actually attacking another pirate faction. They've got a few ships in there. So what we're actually going to do is send our first fleet over just into this system. So if you come over here and move into the system, we're actually going to move into the center of the sun. So they're just going to sit there. And that's good because we actually don't know where they're going to go. So if we move to sort of one of these mining stations, they may go to another one. But if we send them to the system, they're going to move into sort of the center, and then they'll move accordingly. So they'll move off to attack the pirates by themselves. So that's sort of just something easy that we, a bit less micromanaging there. So we can see they've moved into the system, and just saw there, our colony ship has been completed, and this is that one here. So we can just see it moving down. It's going to go down to this planet. Hopefully there's no, it's not an independent planet, so hopefully there's no pirates or anything around there, which should be good. So you can see, so you actually see the pirates leaving, so we might just leave our fleet there for the moment, which just to sort of protect this area in case they come back. We can see some more ships coming in, so which is really good. So that's our long range scanners paying for themselves already. Offer protection, which is the ones we just saw. We're actually going to decline them because they took out one of our freighters, so we don't want to give you any money whatsoever. And decline all of these and these ones as well. So you can actually turn off these messages, the pirate messages, if you like. Generally, I just find it's quite easier just to sort of have them. And what we can see here is because we had our fleet in the middle, as soon as the pirates came in, the fleet itself decided to warp. So it's actually a fleet setting. So if you go to our first fleet, go to here, posture. So attack any target. So basically it means you can actually set it to a different setting or a different posture. And if you like, so I think it's up here in the fleets. No, it must be in the actual ships, I think. Or is it down here somewhere? There we go, posture. So you actually change the posture. So it's currently to attack, and you can actually defend, defend or attack. There you go. So basically, if it's on defend, you won't be. They'll sort of just only if something gets attacked in their system, will they actually go over and try and defend it. But attack is if anything hostile ships come within the system, they'll automatically move and take them on. So slow it down a little bit. Watch some of the fireworks, and this tiny little pirate fleet is going to get absolutely wiped off because they are no match for us. And this is just a warning about the battle here. So there we go. So all those ships have been defeated, and they took over this base. So we're actually going to destroy that base now. So there we go. So all our ships did their work. Been offered a gift. Thank you. And we'll speed the game back up again. So we've got our colony ship down here. And everything's going quite well. So what I'll do, I'll jump into Expansion Planner and see all these plants. So we've got this one, so these little ship icons. That's basically that there's a colony ship already queued up, or either going there or being built to go there and colonize it. And these two haven't been at the moment. So like I mentioned, they're not, generally I'd steer clear of 68, given the fact that we don't have a lot of colonizable planets, and we are on sort of colonizable range of 1. So basically we want to get out as much as possible. So we're going to have to take a few less than desirable planets just so we can actually extend our colonizable range out a little bit further. So it's down in this system down here, I believe. So we're going to do there, and we're going to build and send colony ship. We'll select it. And so, yep, so it's one of these planets in here. So it's in this system. So basically it's going to expand our colonizable range sort of out by another sector. So it should be sort of out to this range. So if there's any planets around here that we can colonize, we should be able to. So that's just sort of something unfortunately you have to do. So that planet won't be great, so we're not going to put a lot of time and effort into that one, but it's sort of something that we have to do just for now. So see our colony ship down here is going to go and check that there's no other hostile things in the system. There's not, which is good. An independent colony of ex-humans. So they are quite aggressive. So they won't like us anyway. So whereabouts are they? So they're all the way up there, so we don't have to worry about them, which is okay. So our colony ship's down here, and that's just going to colonize that planet automatically. An independent colony again of the Ugnaris, however you pronounce them. So they're over here, and they're getting raided. And whereabouts are they? So they're actually over in the pirate one. That's unfortunate for them. They're right in the system, same system that pirates have a base, or a couple of bases, I think. At least one base. So that's unfortunate for them. They're going to get raided quite a lot. And here we go. It's the first time we've actually expanded outside our home system. So you see this little red line is basically linking our home system or another system to our newly colonized system. So that's great. So you can see we've actually expanded out our range as well. So if you come over to influence, we've actually got a little bit more of an expanded influence, but it is a lot smaller than our home planet. So something to keep in mind. So the Daedalus Junction, our little planet out here. And the first thing we're going to do is queue up a couple of planetary defense units and put those on garrison. And then we're going to set up a defensive base and get that going. But always do have, like before with our home system planets, when we colonize those, we do have resource shortages. So what we're actually going to do is assign, given that we're sort of flush with money, we're going to assign a mercenary smuggling mission. So we're going to say all resources. So you can set individual resources, but given that we need a few of them, we're just going to say all resources. And that's going to do. So if you ever wonder, sort of while we're waiting for things to happen, you come down here to pirate missions. You actually see any missions that you've sort of put a contract out for. So some of them, if you get you put a mission out to attack a certain, like a mining base or a planet or something like that, it sort of goes out for think of it like a tender, and certain pirates bid on it and then they accept it. But for things like this, different pirate factions, like multiple factions, can accept it, and then they'll sort of come and just deliver goods here, and then they get paid. So you can sort of keep track of it, and if you sort of think you're paying out too much money, you can cancel it. So that's sort of something to keep track of there. Might actually send our first fleet down here for a little while, given we're close to a couple of pirate bases, even though we are paying them off. What we're going to do is send our first fleet down here to our planet, just to ward off any early raids. So early raids can really quite dramatically harm your population growth early on, and we don't want that. So we only got 2% as well because they're unhappy because they've got resource shortages, and they've been given another monetary gift, so they've got a few from them. So if you go and have a look at them, they still don't like us. That's okay. And we can see here we're envious of your huge strength and power, -16. So we're a lot stronger than them, even though they've got 9 colonies. So I think this faction, this is definitely the strongest empire that we've come across so far. So they've got 9 colonies. So our population, if we have a look at us, we've got 29 billion population. So and 4,000 military strength. So we're a long way in front of them. But they have a lot more colonies than us, even though their population is a lot less. The further the game goes on, the quicker these planets are going to grow, and the more population they're going to have, and which means the richer they are, and the more money they're actually going to put into military. They are quite passive, so that's a little bit good for us as well. They probably not going to come and jump on us within the first 10 seconds kind of thing. Still don't know where they are, which is quite unfortunate. We still don't have any intelligence agents. So the Gizurean do get intelligence agents a little bit slower than other races. So maybe we shouldn't have used our other intelligence agent before, but choices you make. This exploration ship has been damaged and speed has been reduced. They've also run out of fuel. So they're sort of limping back to port to be repaired. Noticing some of our exploration ships are getting attacked because they're getting further out. So there's not really anything we can do about that. It's probably not worth really putting weaponry or anything on our exploration ships. A lot of them are actually running out of fuel as well, which is not great. They should have been refueling themselves, but that doesn't happen. We've still got 11 at the moment, which is pretty good, and we're exploring. Have a look at the galaxy map. We've actually explored quite a decent chunk of the galaxy for how far into the game we are. So probably want to explore out a little bit down this way a little bit further though. So I might actually send a few exploration ships out this way soon, but we've still got quite a few of those. We've got our 5 construction ships. This one's got no mission, so that's okay. We'll just leave that until it's got something to do. There we go. Construction stalled because they're lacking resources, which is okay. Another gift. Goodbye. Still trying to suck up to us. It's not going to help you. Colony governor is increased their ability. So if we come in here and have a look at our colony governor, plus 14% colony happiness, plus 6% population growth, negative 10% colony corruption reduction, negative 10% trade income, and negative 10% tourism income. So I'm actually going to do, given that sort of had these income debuffs, and we don't need the population growth and really don't need the happiness either, on our main planet, what I'm going to move it to our second planet, which I think we colonize Alarum 3 first. So we're going to move it to there, or move him to there, move them to there. I'm not sure if they have male or female distinctions, but we're going to do that to start with. So we'll just come into our colony screen, have a look. Yeah, so Alarum 3 is our second planet, so I've got 587 million population, which is pretty good. So it's growing quite quickly within the space of a couple of years, so doing quite well there. And Attendium Opal discovered on our planet Alarum 3, which is good. So that's another luxury resource that we can, luxury resource very rare, so that's pretty good. So that actually appeared on our planet, so that's another source of luxuries there, which will make our planet a little bit happier and grow a little bit quicker. So it's actually growing at 25%, so that's another reason why it's good to always make sure that your early planets don't have any tax rates. So we see the tax column here, and all 3 of our colonies are tax rate 0, because you want them to grow quite quickly. So 25% growth rate for that one, 36% for that one, and this one's only at 6 because it's got a few negatives or resource shortages for that colony. So we're sitting pretty at the moment. Private sector's got 116 ships, which is good. Colony location, sure, why not? G4, so it's out this way as well. And this is actually that empire that we were probably thinking they're going to be a competitor. So they're sort of out to our right, so a little bit away from us, but we can probably quite easily meet if we sort of both move in this direction. we could quite easily come into conflict. So the closer you get to other empires, you'll actually start coming up with, once we expand out a little bit and you get borders quite close, you'll start coming up with negative influence or negative relation factors of sort of where we covet your resources. And bugger. So the Ricto Consortium, which is that empire that we just discovered, has completed the Traders Bazaar, which is yes, exactly what we wanted. So we're perhaps a little bit behind in research. So what we're going to do now, that's a little bit of an impetus. So it's unfortunate we've missed out on those. It's going to be a big help to them. So that's probably a little bit of a kick in the teeth. We should have done something about that earlier. So given that, and we're probably going to want to expand out our research a bit. So we've got, we can definitely expand out quite a bit. So we've got 552k total empire research potential. So each of these categories can have 552k in total research capacity. So only running at 360 at the moment. So we can actually expand out by nearly 200k. So that will be good. So we can do that. What we're going to do then is we might actually firstly retrofit our sort of stock standard research station. Go auto upgrade, just anything goes in there. We're going to chuck on a little bit more firepower as well. But what we're going to do now, we've got 60k research here. We're going to actually expand this out just by another 30k for each of them, just to give us a little bit more sort of consolidated in the one location. So don't actually get any bonuses here. So we're actually going to go and build some separate bases on planets that have, or locations that have research bonuses. But this is because it's all consolidated in one location. It's sort of something good to have, sort of like a backup. If you lose one of those stations, you're not sort of lost with research. You've still got some there. So we've got Max Force Blast, so we ended up with 5, takes up to 92. Put another 5 on, and another 5 missiles, or put it up to 10. So 175 power is pretty good for now. So 119 energy, so we need quite a bit more. So put us up to 239, which is enough. Energy collection rate needs to come up as well, so they're not using money, so that's okay, we can do that. And everything else should be good. We don't need to add anything else on, so we're just going to save that and retrofit our base, our research station. So retrofit that one, and that'll be done, which is good. And next up, what we're going to do is set up. So we've got our research now high tech, but we've sort of modified this one already. So we'll have to set up a new one just for energy research. So what we're going to do is just go auto upgrade for this one, and then manually upgrade, and we're going to put on some armor, just say 200. So 3,000 shields, which will be enough. Max Force Blasters 10, 15, and 5 missiles, so 130. Put on 5 railguns as well, just in case. So railguns, because they're such short range and they do quite a bit of damage, a lot of times mining stations, research stations, things like that will try and get taken over by pirates especially. So basically railguns are quite good if ships come in close and try and sort of going to start boarding. We have a lot of these on here, we can do quite a bit of damage quite quickly. So given these are sort of going to be out of our normal range of our empire and things like that, we're just actually going to add on 10 railguns. Give it a bit more protection, so bump up the energy as well to 84, which would be plenty, and 2 life support, 2 HAB modules, and an energy collector as well, so that'll be good for that one. Do the same quickly with our high-tech research, and just a couple hundred armor, and 3,000 shields, another 10, say 15, 5, and 10. And a few reactors, and a couple of HAB modules, a couple of life support, and this is our high tech. So actually going to add on, put it up to 120. So that's a little bit of an overkill, but I think it's good for now, and that's good. So need a couple of energy collectors to cover that. Energy is all good though, and I'll just put another energy collector on here, and another HAB support life module, and put on another couple of weapons bases. So that should be good for now. And what we're going to do here actually is go, we'll actually copy as new and put this under, just go Energy Research Station. And what we're going to do is we're going to find our, say, take off all our weapons labs, our high-tech labs, and we've just got our energy labs, which is 90 there, and we're going to put it up to 120. So we're probably not going to need to build another research base with all 3 weapon categories on it, or all 3 research categories on it. So we can sort of get rid of that now. What are we going to do here? So we've got a lot of energy. Going to bump up, put on some railguns. So 10 railguns there. We've got quite a bit of missiles and shields and blasters. Armor, shields, all good. So we're going to need another reactor. 324, and energy collection is more than plenty. So that's all good. So I might actually take off a reactor. No, we can't do that. Take off an energy collector. 4836. Yep, all good. So save that. So what we're going to do now is come over here to research locations and just zoom out so we can see where everything is. Zoom through so we actually find ones quite close to us. So we've got one in our system of plus 25% weapons research, which is really good. So because we've actually sort of gone through this location, there's already got a sort of button here that we can queue up a weapons research station already. So we're going to go through and do that. We're going to energy research sort of down here off to our right. So we're going to queue up an energy research unless we've got another one, which we don't. So we're going to queue up one down there, an energy research station. And now we're looking for a high tech. So we've got one up there. Is there anything a little bit closer? Nope, unfortunately. So we're going to queue up one up here, even though it is within a pirate base. We're paying them off at the moment, so we're going to queue one up for a high-tech station up there as well. So it's going to give us another 120k on each, plus another 30 or 120k that we bumped our big research station up to. So that should be all good for now. So that's all those queued up and all good. So that should bump up our research station, our research capacity quite a bit. We probably should have done that a little bit earlier. I probably got a little bit slack thinking that because we appear so far in front of a lot of the other races that we can sort of just slacken off, but we can't. So offer protection, we'll say no, thank you. Thanks, but no thanks. And everything's going along quite well. So we've got our first fleet down here, just sitting down here and protecting this planet and this system. So we've discovered a retreat, and should we investigate? Yes, we will. And we found nothing there, so that's okay. So offering us discovery, we'll say no. Probably can start buying some of those, but often a lot of the times I find the discoveries aren't that good. They can be sort of off anywhere in the galaxy, and you've sort of haven't really got any real chance of getting to them. But at least when you have independent colony locations, it can be useful later on in the game if they haven't been overtaken, or even if they do sort of get invaded by other empires, you can actually see them when that happens. So that's quite good to know about, which is the reason why I have been going for them. So everything's going along. Nearly 20 years into the game, and we're looking pretty good at the moment. So especially military-wise, we're looking quite well. And we've completed enhanced research, or research in enhanced energy collection, and to provide improvement to our energy collector. So basically, our existing energy collectors are going to be far more efficient. It's probably not worth going through and retrofitting all our bases to sort of basically take off an energy collector yet. We'll just go through and do that sort of later on, once we sort of retrofitting a bunch of our other bases or ships and things like that. So we'll jump in here, have a look where we want to go to next. Might actually go to fast mining. So this is going to benefit our, so the mining engine there, and the pop-up just down below, improvements to mining engine and improvements to gas extractor. So they're both on private ships, so private mining ships. And the same with the luxury resource extractor as well. So that's going to benefit sort of private sector. So we might queue that one up first. Damage control. So this is basically a component you can put on your ships, a damage control unit, and it reduces damage reduction or reduces damage taken by 40%. So this can be quite a good thing to put on your bigger ships. It can be quite expensive, so it's not really something you want to put on every single ship. But for your bigger ships, your more valuable ships like your capital ships and your carriers, once we get them, it can be quite useful to sort of put those on there and save those, because you don't want to lose those when you can avoid it. So I might have that a little bit later, but what I might do is actually queue up some new engines and some new thrusters here as well. And then we might go for damage control, and that'll be four research things done. Then you might move up here to get another enhanced hyperdrive, which will be quite good, and then sort of move up here. So generally I try and keep track of or keep up to date with most things rather than sort of rushing ahead, unless there's sort of in this area as well, generally it's not really worth it as much because you can sort of use everything. Sort of these things I generally don't like engines and stuff, because they only use sort of like a Sunbind engine, they're only used sort of for quite slow movement, and in battle and things, they're not quite as important to me. Generally I find hyperdrives are far more important, so they're a little bit of less priority, but we can sort of move through everything else. So I keep the game running and see how we're going. So looking pretty good for now. Offering protection, no, you can actually ignore these and they'll just sort of just go away, but I generally just sort of get rid of them in case something important comes up. So our leader has increased their population growth skill to plus 56, which is really, really good. So they're helping our colonies grow very quickly. So we just had one come up here, our Lunar one mining station is under attack. So just come down here and have a look, see who's attacking us. So little pirate ship, 42 firepower. Our mining station's got 225 power, so it's nothing to worry about whatsoever. So this little mining little destroyer is going to turn tail and run once they realise that they can't fight us off. So they're gonna hyperdrive out and run away because they're big bosses. Our colony ship has been completed, so it's going to go in here and colonize our planet down here. I generally don't, as I mentioned, I do add some shields and armor onto these so they can sort of defend themselves. So I don't really escort them as much unless they're going to independent colonies, which a lot of times will have pirates around them. So apart from that, we don't really worry too much. Our research center has been completed, so if we come in here, we should have 390. So that's bumped up a little bit. A bit more research capacity. I missed some of these messages, so I'll just double check these. Research breakthrough, a couple of our scientists have been promoted, ship completed, so that's all good. So that's all running well. How are our explorers going? Still got 11, so that's pretty good. We haven't lost any. 5 construction ships. Our mining. Okay, so we've had a big fleet come in here, so it's not really too powerful. So what we're going to get is get our home fleet come in here, and actually. We're actually going to send them into our mining station here. So we managed to lose this mining station, but there's not really anything we can do about it at the moment. So we've come across a chamber here and we're just going to investigate it. It's revealed a beacon in F3, so it's a little bit away from us, we won't worry about that. So don't think our mining station is going to last, but where's our fleet? It might do actually. Here we go. Yes, it probably will actually. That's going to take some damage, that's okay. So all these pirate ships should basically bite the bicky and get taken out, or most of them at least. They're starting to start fleeing now. Yep, all got their hyperdrives set up. So our ship captain has been killed, so actually that's quite unlucky. So one of our ships has been boarded and captured, and we've lost a ship captain. So given we've only got a couple of ship captains and there's 20 ships in here, I was a little bit unlucky, but that's okay. I can't do anything about that really. So actually, this is the Iron Confederation. So these guys are actually starting to become quite a bit of a pain. They have a lot of ships, a lot of firepower, and they're starting to give us a bit of a problem. So it may actually worth building up another fleet soon, and with the express purpose of going and taking them on. So we actually lost 3 ships, so 3 escorts, because escorts are quite light and they're quite light on. So they do take a bit of damage and they can get taken out quite easily. So we can see all these ships are sort of leaving now. Some of our escorts are sort of trying to pursue them, but we won't really do that for now. We're just going to move them back to our... Actually, we're just going to click on repair, and they'll go and repair by themselves. And we're going to queue up another few escorts to replace our losses. And once these are repaired and these ones have come through, so 3, we'll actually go and look at retrofitting and beefing up our escorts a little bit. Probably not with necessarily more firepower, but maybe with more defenses and protection. So just to give them a little bit more staying power. Sorry, it's into our home fleet. There we go. And all looking good for now. So you see our cash flows drop quite a bit because we are spending a little bit more. That's okay. We've got a fair bit. So 76k there built up when we need it. We've had another planet's been colonized, and it's also produced a colony governor, which is really good. So sometimes you'll sort of get a random event that will produce a colony governor. So you see that little icon here, we can click on them, and colony of happiness, and then once they've governed for a little while, we can actually see what the percentage they are and see how it's all going. So we've expanded out. We've got 3 colonies now, and we actually see that this. The Ricto consortium have actually expanded out, so I definitely think they are sort of out this way. And they're we're now, unless we sort of take these guys on, we're not going to be able to colonize this planet. So definitely see us coming into conflict with this empire quite soon. So they're definitely expanding in this direction. And we definitely want these couple of colonies because they are Gizureans, so they're easily colonized and they'll join us and they'll be happy and they'll give us a good sort of boost. So we definitely want those couple of colonies. So I think next episode I'm going to put a cut in here just in a minute. We're actually going to start building up our fleet. Look at building. I think we've got enough tech to actually weapons. Where are we? Our transport techs, so these are our troop transport, so standard troop compartments. So we've actually got that research. So we can actually build troop transports now. So I think next episode what we're going to do is actually start building up our armoured forces on our home world. Build up an invasion force, scared out this area a little bit more, and then maybe even next episode or the episode after that, sort of actually start moving out this way and taking one of these planets. Because if we take one of these colonies, so if we could actually take this colony here, it would open up all this area for colonization, which would be really, really good for us. So just double check on them at the moment. So they've actually got 8 colonies. It's actually lost on, which is quite interesting. Population of 11 billion and military strength of 1,500. So we're still a long way ahead of them in military strength and population. We've got 5 colonies, but they're by far the strongest empire that we've come across. So, and they don't like us either. Do they like us? No, they don't. -46. So we're never going to be friends. So that could be a good plan for next episode. But for now, I'm going to put a cut in here, guys, and I'll see you all soon.